Hey everybody, I just wanted to pop on here and give you a little instruction on your assignment for today because this is something that if we were in class, we'd be doing mostly together. Um, First of all, I'm really excited about some of the topics that some of you chose. Some of them are very interesting, some few I haven't seen before. So that makes me excited to read your papers. Um, if you have not heard from me on Google Classroom on the post where you told me your topic, that's a problem. I should have wrote like approved or gave you some ideas on how to broaden your topic or kind of what specifically to search for, things like that. So if you haven't heard from me, reach out, email, or go back on that Google Classroom post and make sure that it's submitted so that I could see it. Okay. If I haven't heard from you by like today, I'll probably be reaching out to you. So that's the first step in this process. You have to have a topic. If you have not done that yet, you need to do that. You need to pick something that you feel strongly about, or that you can pick a side. So for all my examples today, I'm going to use school uniforms as the example, simply because it's not super controversial and there's a lot of information about it. So what I want to talk about first is this. So when you're looking for articles, now when I say article, what I mean is that you're going to be Googling things, right? An article is simply something written by someone, a website, a source, something that gives you information about your topic. Now, how do you know when a source is credible or reliable or trustworthy? Well, you need to look for these things. Is there the name of an author somewhere? Like it's written by John Smith. Great. That's good to know because you can always Google John Smith if you had to. If there's not an author name on there, that can be troubling. So you should look for an author name. Is there a date that it's published? At the very, very bottom of the screen or at the top, there should be a date when it was either updated or the date that it was put online. Is it professional looking? There's not a ton of pop-ups. There's not a ton of ads. Sometimes there can be ads, not a ton. It's not distracting. There's not like an ad for something inappropriate that pops up across your screen as you're trying to look at it. There isn't a bunch of information about random things on the side, okay? Does it look professional? You also need to be looking for, is there ethos, logos, or pathos in your source? Meaning like, are they using science like facts and numbers and drawings and figures and charts? Are they trying to get to, that's logos. Are they trying to get you through pathos? Like, is it a story about a kid, an animal, an eyewitness account, something like a story that tugs at your heartstrings or makes you laugh or, something like that? Or is there ethos? Is there a doctor, a dentist, a celebrity, a psychologist? Um, like if you're writing about something having to do with the outdoors, is there someone who's a famous outdoorsman, or is there a DNR officer or something like that? So those are the three things. You can't use Wikipedia. You can't use blogs of any kind because those are just opinions written by someone and it hasn't been fact checked. You can't use answer sites like Yahoo Answers. You cannot use debate.org, theonion.com, BuzzFeed.com, or procon.org. Debate.org and procon.org, every single year people try to use them. Please do not. They are not fact-checked, and even though they're a .org, which is usually a good sign for a good website, they're not. So please don't use those. So let's look at this together really quick, and then I will hopefully be able to help you with some things. Okay, I'm going to move myself over here. So like I said, I'm going to do school uniforms. Now, the thing about the Google search bar is that it is programmed that if you don't use a ton of words, you have to type a whole sentence. Don't use a ton of words and really just put the important words in there. For instance, let's say that I am on the pro side of wearing school uniforms. Yes, students should wear school uniforms every day at school. Okay, so that would be a pro. If I was con, that means that I don't agree. Okay, pro school uniforms. All right, so what pops up is a bunch of different stuff. So scholarly articles about uniforms. So you could do effects of student uniforms on behavior behavior and attendance. So this is an actual scholarly article, which means that it's written by someone who's gone to school or someone who has studied this topic like through Notre Dame. Okay, so you could look into things like this. I don't think that you have to look at things like this because it's a lot of words. You're probably going to be like, what? I don't understand it. Okay, you just need to scroll down a little bit. Okay. Look at the first thing that pops up is procon.org. Do not use it. Okay, do not. Okay, what are good reasons for wearing school uniforms? The website is americanprep.org. .orgs are generally reliable, good sources. So let's click on that. And we're going to look through this right now, okay? All right, so first of all, is it professional? Well, let's look at this sheet together and we can decide. Gosh, I don't know where to put myself. Okay. Author name. Do we have an author name? Let's look. Well, it's a .org. So sometimes .orgs do not have the name of a specific person. They're put out by an organization, a .org. So the .org is the American Preparatory Schools. So that would be the author. That is who it is, okay? All right, second thing, a date. Right here on the top, February 26, 2019. That's a good sign. It shows us that it's pretty current and that we know when it popped up online. Is it professional looking? Yeah, I'd say so. There's not a ton of ads. It's got a couple, it's got a nice professional picture. It has words. It's easy to read. It's easy to understand. Okay. So the next thing that you would want to do is, in order to understand if there's ethos, logos, or pathos, is you would want to read this article. Okay. Look at it, kind of read it. School uniforms, it says school uniforms promote learning. School uniforms nourish a sense of equality. School uniforms promote a sense of community. So these are good points and they're good, easy things that you could write about. So this would be a good website to save. Now, when I say that, on your iPad, put them on your home screen. If you're on an at-home computer, you can bookmark them, okay? That's up at the top bar of your computer. You can bookmark them. You just have to save them somehow so that you can get back to them very, very easily, okay? It's super, super, super important that you save whatever website you're working on, save it, okay? If it's a good one that you want to be able to go back and look at again, you save it. Okay, let's find an example of a bad one because I think that would be a good idea. .org, those are okay, those are okay. Here we go, Prezi.com. Okay, now this, I don't know if you've ever heard of Prezi before, but it's kind of like a PowerPoint. It's a fancy type of like PowerPoint or slides. This would not be okay. Here's why. This is written by Ali G and Abila E. Cool, but I have no idea who they are. I have no idea where they come from, what they're doing. So this maybe looks kind of cool, but guess what? You can't use this information. It's because you have no idea who it's written by when it's clear. This is clearly made by students or something else. You can't use Prezi videos, okay? Or Prezi slides because these are written by kids, adults that are giving presentations. You can't do that, okay? So nope, that would be a bad one. You don't want to do that. Now, let's talk about your assignment really fast, and then we can be done. If you look, attached on the Google Classroom today is this sheet that says yellow article worksheet. Now, I can't make it yellow, but if I was with you in class, I would have given it to you as a yellow piece of paper. So that's why it says yellow. So when I am talking about yellow, it says yellow. Yellow, okay? So this is what you're going to do. I'm looking for research. I'm trying to find stuff. Let's look. Okay. Let's say that I found this website. Excuse me. Let's say let's just use this website that we were looking at. Okay. So I found this website excuse me. I found this website. I think it's a good one. I want to use it. It's something that I want to save and probably use in my research paper. First, what you need to do is you need to take this piece of paper and open it on your iPad or computer or print it, okay? The yellow article worksheet. Now, what this does is this goes through each thing that you need to know in order to either find this article again or when we make a works cited page, this is what you will use. So, first it says article number. This is the first article I found. I'm going to put a 1. That's all it is. That's the first article I found. Article title. The article title is this right here. What are good reasons for wearing school uniforms? Okay, type that in there. Author. I told you it's a .org. Sometimes .orgs are put out by the organization. So the author is the American Preparatory Schools. You would write that on this line right here, American Preparatory Schools. Website title, okay? Website title is where did this come from overall? And that is generally this first part of the email address. So americanprep.org, okay? Right here, meet. So under website title, you would put americanprep.org or abcnews.com or historychannel.com or whatever you're using, okay? It's kind of like the main title of the website. Date electronically published, February 26, 2019. You would write that on there, February 26, 2019. Date access. What's the day you found the article? If this was me and I was looking, I would say 4/20/20, okay? But for you guys, it might be today, it might be tomorrow. So it could be 4/22, 4/23, okay, maybe 4/24. But the day that you found the article, you need to write it on there, 4/20/20 or 4/23/20 or whatever. Okay, these next questions are things you fill out by yourself. Is this a credible or reliable source? Why or why not? And I could write, it is reliable because it has a date published. It looks professional. It has easy to read information. It's put out by a .org, which is an organization. Any of those things would work. This article contains which of these? Logos, ethos, or pathos? Every article you read, especially because this is a persuasive topic, are going to have one of those modes of persuasion in them. So they're either going to use science-based facts and logic and statistics and numbers, that's logos, or they're going to use doctor recommendations or people that can back it up, or they're going to try and pull at your heartstrings like, oh, school uniforms are good because they embrace individuality, or things that make you be like, oh, I want that for the children, right? Okay, so you need to tell me which one it contains, okay? And then this article goes against or supports your opinion. So if I believe, yes, students should wear uniforms, I would put supports, because this article that we're looking at says what are good reasons to wear school uniforms. So it's supporting me. It's saying, yep, this is right. You want to find articles that support you. You can have one or two here or there that go against you because it's good to see both sides of the story, but you want to find articles that support you. Now, you are going to fill out this yellow article worksheet. You're going to fill it out this 1-page sheet. You're going to fill it out 3 times today because I need you to find 3 articles, 3 websites, 3 places that are good places of information about your topic, okay? So you're going to fill out 3 of them. I will attach them and you can fill them out, all right? After you do that, because this is very simple, it shouldn't take you a ton of time. It should take you a little bit of time to look for good articles. Don't just pick the first 3 you see. Pick ones that have good information, that are full of information, okay? The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to open up this blue guided notes, okay? Blue guided notes. What this is when you have found your 3 articles, you can begin to read them, all right? This is something that we'll be working on for the next 2 weeks, so you might have to refer back to this video again, but let's look at this right now, okay? This blue sheet, it says blue guided notes. That's because, once again, if we were in school, I would give this to you on a blue piece of paper. Okay? And so that's what I'm talking about when I say this. So after you find an article, I found this article. Great. I think it's a good one. I think I want to use it. Awesome. Now you need to dig in and read it. Okay? So I'm reading it. I'm looking at it. I'm going to take some time, not just skim. I'm going to actually read it. And then what you're going to do is fill out these blue guided notes. Okay? Article number 1, we said this was article number 1 because it's the first one I found and the first one I'm going to use. And on my yellow sheet, I labeled it as 1, right? Okay, so my blue guided packet, blue guided notes, article number 1, title of the article. The title is, what are good reasons for wearing school uniforms? What are good reasons for wearing school uniforms? Okay, now write down specific quotes that show either logos, ethos, or pathos. Things in there that are specific that say, this supports me and I know it's ethos, logos, or pathos, so that's a good thing. Write it down, okay? And then it also says write down anything that you thought was important or interesting that you might want to use in your paper. This is where you write down word for word. You can copy. I want you to copy at this point. You're copying down things that are important. So I think this website's great because it has these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different reasons why school uniforms are a good thing, and they're very clear and they're easy to read. So maybe I say use school uniforms for remote learning. Oh, I think that's a really good point. It's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. Boom, right there, word for word. The reason why I'm having you do this is so that you don't have to, when you're writing your paper, keep hopping back and forth between different websites and things like that. So if you can, your assignment is 2. 1, you need to find 3 articles, okay? 3 websites, 3 sources of information. And then you need to go into this document and fill this out for the 3. There's article 2, there's article 3, okay? It's 2 simple questions, but the more that you write down on this guided notes, the easier your paper is going to be to write. So please take your time in doing that. Okay, I did not want this to be a long video, but it's turned into a 17-minute video. So if you are confused about anything, please let me know. If you need to rewatch this because you are trying to make sure that you're doing things right, that's not a bad thing, okay? So today, this seems a little like I don't feel great about this. I feel like something's going to get messed up. You guys are going to get confused about things, but we're going to try it. And if it's awful, then I'll break it down even more. So today, the thing that you're working on is finding websites, filling out the information about the website, and then reading the website and filling this out, okay? That's your task. If you have questions, please let me know. I'll be available on Google Meet if you are super confused, okay? Or email. Don't spend 20 minutes looking for something. Just email me. All right. Talk to you guys later.